Two Worlds, One Family by Dragon Translator. Chapter 2. We Must Talk. Gyda waited until they walked out of the Hoverson's house before placing a hand on Astrid's shoulder. The young Burkian stopped and stared at her. Is there a place you and I can talk and not be disturbed? I must speak with you, and it is urgent. We're supposed to meet Hiccup and the others. I know. But I would not want to ask this if it was something that could wait. Astrid stared in silence and turned and walked away. Gyda followed her to a clearing behind some of the houses. Gyda hid her smile, recognizing it as the sheep field from the beginning of the movie. Astrid stopped at the edge of the cliff and turned to Gyda. What? She asked, her arms crossed. Hiccup, Gyda said, more specifically, that you think something exists between he and I. Astrid narrowed her eyes and she moved to mount Stormfly. Gyda snorted and grabbed Astrid's shoulder. Astrid glared at her. Hiccup is the one I am sworn to obey, Astrid. That means a lot to a mage. But any affection I hold for him is the same affection you hold for Stoic. A leader, nothing more. Shouldn't you be telling him this? He does not glare at me whenever I speak to him. You do. Astrid jerked, slinging Gyda's hand off her shoulder. It's not that. He's been hurt too much. I failed him then. I will not fail him now. I will not allow him to be hurt ever again. Good. But in your desire to keep him safe, do not hurt him yourself. I would never! Astrid, who did Hiccup look to when I told him I had to block your memories? What does that have to do with this? Who, Astrid? Toothless. And he looked to the dragons and his father. Astrid, Snotlout would say that. You are smarter than that. Who did Hiccup look to besides the dragons and his father? Me. Astrid whispered. Exactly. So, he and I are friends, who both want something more. Both. Both. Why are you telling me this? Chief said not to interfere with the future. Won't this? Gyda grinned. I have already changed yours and Hiccup's future, Astrid. I did that back home. What do you mean? You spent time together in my dining hall, Gyda said, and now you remember that. Nothing happened. Gyda lifted an eyebrow. You two became friends, did you not? Yes. Then something happened. And Nana always says friends become the best lovers, Shadowfire piped in, though she never explained why. Mum usually shooed me out of the room at that point. Gyda cut her eyes at Shadowfire and grunted. Thank you for pointing that out, son. Any time, Mum. Regardless of my son's blunt statement, Astrid, you and Hiccup were not supposed to be friends before the Red Death faced justice. That was supposed to happen after he woke up. Now, though, both of you remember your time in my home, and you remember the images and the truths revealed while watching those images. The future has changed. There's no way around that. We should catch up to the patrol, Astrid said. Gyda sighed, not all that surprised. Before we go, can I offer you some unasked for advice? Astrid stared at Gyda for several silent moments. Fine, she said. Don't ever lie to Hiccup, no matter who asks you to. Astrid's eyes narrowed. Who? When? I cannot say who, and I cannot say when. Both are events I will not speak about. I will say they make a compelling argument, but it is not a good idea, ever, to lie to Hiccup. Astrid nodded. She turned then, looking back at Gyda. Thank you, she said. Now we need to catch up to the patrol. Astrid frowned. Hiccup ordered the patrol change courses each day. I'm not sure where they went. Stormfly can find them. How? Hiccup will reorganize the classes of dragons, Gira said. Nada's will be moved to a new one he makes. Tracker class. She turned to Stormfly. You have Hiccup's scent? Yes, they went in the direction of the cove where Alpha and Protector became friends. Astrid blinked. You still call Hiccup Alpha? Stormfly chittered. Lady Alpha. Even when we did not have our memories, myself and the dragons bonded to the younglings, called Hiccup our Alpha. Because of the Red Death. That, and he freed us from that stone den, and he welcomed us to the nest. Astrid tilted her head. You called me Lady Alpha again. Stormfly chittered again. Youngling, you may fool yourself, and you may fool the other humans, but you and Alpha do not fool us dragons. Elder Gita is right. You both want to be more than nestmates. Stormfly? Astrid had a note of warning in her tone. Stormfly leaned over and nuzzled against Astrid. Youngling, you should not deny the truth. Stormfly is a Hickstred shipper, Shadowfire said. Son! Gita groaned, feeling the headache beginning to build. I like that word. We'll have to remember it to tell Protector. You will not! Stormfly chuckled. You cannot stop me, Lady Alpha. Astrid's eyes narrowed. Yet you called me that. That is a courtesy title. You and Alpha are far too young to have the matehood ceremony. Stormfly! Stormfly chittered and shook herself. Gita grunted. Astrid, what does that word mean? Huh? Hickstrid, what does that mean? Gita took a deep breath. You saw the images. You heard me say others in my time have seen them. Some of those others chose who Hiccup should be with. They what? Gita pinched the bridge of her nose, feeling the headache thud itself against her temples repeatedly. The word relationship has the word ship in it. There are those who watched Hiccup's tale, and who chose to say various people would be perfect in a romantic relationship. Back home they were called shippers. Some of those shippers chose you to be in a romantic relationship with Hiccup. Hickstrid was the name of that belief. It is a combination of both of your names. Did you ever choose? Mum's an avid Hickstrid shipper. So am I. Thank you, son, for pointing that out as well. Stormfly chortled. Gita rubbed her forehead. Astrid, do not take my words or the dragon's words as solid proof of what will happen. It is not a light choice to move beyond friendship. It should only happen because you and Hiccup wish it to. We should catch up to the patrol, Astrid said. Sure, Astrid. Gita turned away and climbed into Shadowfire's saddle. Astrid mounted Stormfly. Both dragons unfurled their wings and took to the air. Stormfly banked and Shadowfire followed. End of chapter. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that one. So yes, as I said, the first couple of chapters, it takes a minute to settle into this fic. But I really like it. I like that she's doing this. She is clearing the air quickly to avoid misunderstandings in the future and warning Astrid against something else. I think that's about Heather's situation at some point. I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, I just like that. You guys know the drill. Like, comment and subscribe and hit that bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Have a good day, night, or whatever time zone you're in. Bye my guys, gals and non-binary pals. I'll see you in another video. Take care.